It is a massive day in politics in Solomon Islands, with the country's leader, Jeremiah Manele, set to face a no-confidence motion in Parliament. The push to oust Mr Manele is being led by the former Prime Minister, Manasseh Sogavare, who's had a very testy relationship at times with the Australian government. We're joined now by the ABC Solomon Islands reporter, Chris and Rita Almanu-Leong. Chrissy, good morning and welcome back to News Breakfast.
Thanks, James. Good morning all the way from here in Honiara as well.
It is lovely to have you on. This is a huge story for our region. Things have been relatively quiet in Solomon Islands politics since Mr Sogavare lost the leadership last year. The question is he about to become the Prime Minister again?
Well, all eyes will be on here in Honiara, James, over the weekend for your end. The political leadership battle may have settled, but in Solomon Islands, things have just started. Unfortunately, we don't have democracy sausages today for us here in the capital of Honiara, where a different type of voting will happen, not by the people, but by the members of parliament, where Solomon Islands Prime Minister Jeremiah Manele faces a vote of no confidence. But what had happened was last week there were 10 MPs who had walked out from the government side to join the opposition. A shock move that was led by former Prime Minister Manasseh Sogavare. It was driven largely by domestic and leadership concerns. In the recent days, Mr Sogavare, though, we've seen the support dwindling with opposition MPs defecting to the government side. Mr Sogavare is not a stranger when it comes to Australia politics. He's a combative four-time leader who has repeatedly clashed with both the Morrison and the Albanese governments, and he's also denied that his move is to do with him wanting to be Prime Minister. I suspect that'll keep some Canberra officials on their toes and creating a bit of unease that end.
It sure is. I mean, Australian diplomats have been looking at this for some time now. Of course, Manasseh Sogavare kind of became a big part of the previous federal election campaign back in 2022. So when are we going to know the outcome of this internal leadership battle?
Well, sadly, it's all too familiar in the Pacific. We, as you understand, have dozens of motions of no confidence in Solomon Islands in the last decade, where very few governments have survived their full term in power, whereas in Australia, I understand that may not be the case. We would expect parliamentary process to be quite similar, though, to Australia if a vote of no confidence were to happen. So we have the motion that's tabled or withdrawn on the floor, parliamentarians debating it and proceeding to either or against the motion. The absolute majority will win. The Prime Minister remains if the motion is defeated, or we could see a new Prime Minister election. But that would not be the case. That would not happen immediately today. It could take roughly another week or so if we were to go in that situation. But however, photos that were published by the government side last night showed that Prime Minister Manele, surrounded by 28 MPs, more than the majority that he needs to stay in power. James, politics in Solomon Islands and across the Pacific, incredibly fluid as well. So see what comes out from the sitting this morning.
Okay, I think we've got you back there, Chrissy. You just dropped out there for a second. I mean, overlaying all of this, of course, is this power battle between Chinese influence, Australian influence, US influence in the Pacific as well. What are people of the Solomon Islands saying about this latest round of political upheaval? Presumably some of them are sick of having so much upheaval.
That's right. Well, there are some who aren't really across this whole political upheaval, but generally people are feeling this is a waste of government resources, resources that could be better placed in issues that are of concern to the hearts and minds of people in Solomons. They say it's diverting from policy making and from the effectiveness of the government. Solomon Islanders want to see a government that answers to their cries, addressing the very issues that are of importance to them, addressing the unemployment, high cost of inflation, the youth bulge, but most importantly, James, and it's important to say here as well, that people just want to see a peaceful outcome to this democratic process.